Everchosen. Enemies are twisted to the Everchosen's ends, and allies are transformed anew. The devoured become the devourers, feeding upon the belly of the beast. Mirrors reflect the reflected upon themselves, eyes of terror wide with madness. Reality weeps and empires burn under the blade of the three-eyed king. The nexus of worlds falls into darkness beneath snapping 8-starred standards. And so the God King was brought low by the ruinous powers and their champion. A dark dawn broke behind the Everchosen, its chill spreading across the land with the promise of an age of torment and death to come. Master of Chaos. Archaon is the shadow of chaos cast across the mortal realms. Warriors beyond number kneel before his dark majesty, and warlords and kings whisper his name in fear. For Archaon is the Everchosen, greatest of the dark gods' champions, and the doom of all men. The indomitable will of Archaon the Everchosen grips the mortal realms like a mailed fist. Countless men live and die at his command, straining under the yoke of chaos. None can equal the vast numbers vanquished or enslaved by Archaon, for every victory wrought by chaos upon the mortal realms belongs to him. Archaon is the exalted Grand Marshal of the Apocalypse, and it is he who the dark gods have charged with conquering the realms. During the long centuries of the Age of Chaos, it was his cruel mastery of war and irresistible might that led to one savage victory after another for the ruinous powers. At his side march the feared Varen Guard, and the terrible sorceries of the gaunt summoners are his to command. Wielding his legendary demon sword, the Slayer of Kings, and mounted upon the three-headed demon beast Dorgar, the Everchosen soars across the battlefield. Those foolish enough to cross blades with him soon seed the ground with their blood, for his combat prowess is unmatched. Archaon's presence is such that he unites the howling armies of chaos, transforming the myriad warriors of the dark gods into a single brutal force of domination. Before his wrath, all resistance is soon crushed. Despite his many victories, however, Archaon craves yet more. An endless thirst for conquest seethes within his heart, driving him on to fresh wars. The ragged remnants of the Everchosen's armies are hunted to extinction as his armies scour the far reaches of the realms for new foes to fight and nations to destroy. Soon there will be nothing left of the mortal realms but endless landscapes mutated by the touch of chaos. 7 of the 8 realms already languish under the tyrannical dominion of chaos. Mighty monuments to Archaon's glory loom over ruined cities, bone-covered plains, and broken mountains from Akshi to Sheesh, the ominous banners of the Everchosen snapping in a wind thick with the stench of death. Only Azir, the celestial realm, remains unscathed. Its lord, the God King Sigmar, long ago sealed its gates to protect it from the Everchosen's armies, after the Chaos General drove back the legions of Azir and shattered their alliances. Archaon has sought the destruction of Sigmar and his kingdom for centuries, his warriors battering on the gates of Azir to no avail. An ancient enmity exists between these two great champions, and Archaon has taken pleasure in the knowledge that every soul he has claimed, every civilization he has drowned in blood, Sigmar has borne witness to from his city of Sigmaron. Now that Sigmar's lightning-forged Stormcast Eternals have launched their war against the ruinous powers, a new age of battle has dawned, one the Everchosen welcomes with dark joy. At last, Archaon sees his chance to complete his war of annihilation. As the storm of Sigmar rolls out across the realms, and the storm hosts descend upon bolts of crackling lightning, Archaon rides out to meet them, and the united hosts of chaos are his to command in all their dark and terrible glory. Archaon's brutal reputation spans the mortal realms. All who dwell within them know of his dark legend, one that has become synonymous with death and destruction. In the wilds of the Screaming Hills, the beast people know of Archaon as the thirsting predator who consumes prey without end. Upon the blasted plains of Galhatra, he is the fire that burns eternal, turning the world to ash, while atop the glimmering mountains of Spearholm, Archaon is the world razor that endlessly cuts the realm's rocky flesh. In 1,000 tongues, upon 1,000 continents, the name of the Everchosen is a war cry on the lips of chaos warriors, and a fearful scream torn from the throats of their foes. Few who have heard tell of Archaon have witnessed his dark majesty up close, and those who have seldom live long enough to speak of it. Often, armies drop their weapons and flee at the mere rumor of the three-eyed king's coming, and the grim fate that awaits them should they stand and fight. Such is the aura of rampant chaos that surrounds Archaon, that even the land rebels at his arrival. Forests transmute into lakes of three-headed maggots, and rivers boil away to screaming blood mist as the eyes of the dark gods follow their champion. Archaon is the death of worlds and the slayer of empires, and in his unholy tread are the mortal realms unmade. Shadow of the Dark Gods. Archaon set out to conquer the mortal realms following a dark promise of glory. The lands of mortals, grown fat, complacent, and ripe for the slaughter, would be a gift from the Chaos Gods to their chosen champion, a terrible prize of war which had no equal. For long years, the minions of chaos preyed upon the edges of the mortal realms. Like predators picking off the stragglers from a herd, they tore at isolated kingdoms and remote lands. However, every great incursion was turned back by the god king Sigmar and his pantheon. The strength of the united realms thwarted the ambitions of the chaos gods time and again through the long age of myth. In their desire to see the mortal realms destroyed, the Chaos Gods turned to their greatest champion, Archaon, to whom they made a promise. If he turned from his wars within the realm of chaos and brought the dominion of the dark gods to the 8 realms, then they would crown him as ruler of all he had seized. Whether it was the prospect of such a mighty gift or the call of fresh conquests that moved him to accept, only Archaon himself knows. Whatever the truth, the armies of chaos were soon marching upon the realms. Archaon has ever been a cunning general, able to discern the will of his foes. During the Battle of Burning Skies, he played upon Sigmar's pride to trick his foe into hurling Gal Maraz into a rift in reality, denying the God King his magical hammer. In the vicious struggle for the All Points, Archaon manipulated Nagash's self-serving nature to ensure that the great necromancer proved the downfall of his allies, leading to the capture of the All Points by the Chaos forces. Piece by piece, Archaon fractured the alliances of his enemies. The Everchosen knew that the key to defeating the mortal realms lay in dividing them. Corrupting vital realm gates, his warriors cut armies off from their lords and sealed their only means of escape. By the time his enemies realized the extent of his plots, Archaon's armies had established a foothold in almost every realm. Realm gates were hung with the banners of the Everchosen and guarded by legions of chaos worshippers. Free to strike at will throughout the mortal realms, Archaon's true war of annihilation could begin. The God King, Sigmar. Archaon and Sigmar are ancient enemies, and their past is marked by the ruins of civilizations and the corpses of empires. Sigmar is a champion of light and order, a great hammer-wielding god who long ago united the peoples of the mortal realms and ushered in a golden age. In many ways, Archaon is Sigmar's dark reflection. Both are great generals and masterful warriors, and both unify the forces under their command. Where Sigmar forges and defends, however, Archaon destroys and corrupts. The enmity between God King and Everchosen is bitter, stoked by centuries of war. Relics from the Age of Myth depict the two fighting over whole worlds, a glowing figure with hammer held high, doing battle against a horned shadow that grips a snarling sword. It is a motif still found upon ruins and in ancient texts, a memory of a long-lost time of war. As the Age of Sigmar begins, this bitter rivalry between Archaon and Sigmar seems set to play out once more. A champion of light and a champion of darkness, battling for the fate of their realms. The Empty Throne. Archaon's vast empire is controlled from the Varen Spire, a monumental fortress dominating a tortured landscape in the realm of chaos. It is to those twisting towers and colossal walls that his endless trail of spoils and trophies are brought, and it is here that stands Archaon's dark throne. The Varen Spire rises from the surrounding hellscape like a blade thrust into the chest of a corpse. Its spiked walls weep the blood of tormented prisoners, while jagged spires reach up into flame-wreathed skies, where maddening glimpses of the mortal realms at war flicker and fade. The Varen Spire's bladed towers are filled with winged horrors, while its walls are stalked by hordes of warriors, demons, and monsters sworn to the Everchosen. To reach the Varen Spire from the mortal realms, one must travel through the magical anomaly known as the 8 Points. Existing between worlds, this vast nexus of gateways and towers was once the jewel of the 8 realms. Long ago conquered by Archaon, it holds a portal torn into the realm of chaos that leads directly to the Varen Spire. Through this vital strategic confluence, Archaon can move his armies to wherever he needs them. Within the Varanspire, beyond its yawning tooth-lined gateways and hell-forged portcullises, are miles of twisting corridors and cavernous chambers, with only loose ties to recognizable natural laws. Some are filled with nests of writhing demon flesh, while others house sanity-rending shrines to the Chaos Gods. Many are blood-stained fighting pits, where gore-covered champions duel endlessly for the favor of their cruel master. At the Varanspire's heart lies the Chamber of the Vanquished. Here, amid a forest of pillars carved with the screaming faces of defeated foes, stands a throne of flowing darkness and ossified ambition. Forged from the souls of kings, it radiates unholy power, filling all who gaze upon it with dread. It is a throne Archaon has never sat upon. Set within a fortress, he has not entered in an age. While he fights his constant wars of conquest, his realm lords gather before the throne to lay their triumphs and trophies. Under the gaze of his sorcerers, mortal and demon lords bow in the throne's shadow, paying obeisance to it as they would to the Everchosen himself. Archaon's domain sprawls across the 7 of the 8 mortal realms. Hundreds of generations are born and die, cringing in fear from the lash, their pitiful lives spent building monuments to a master they will never lay eyes upon. In his name, countless Chaos Lords rule these vast kingdoms, living in fear that he may one day return. In the wake of the Everchosen's triumphs, shrines dedicated to the gods of order are brutally desecrated, realm gates are corrupted, and temples to chaos are built upon the ruins of the fallen empires. The God's Eye in the Glimmerglass Mountains, the Bloodwell of Voss, and the Demon Tooth Bastion that stretches across the Steel Kingdoms are all locations where the root of chaos runs deep. Here are the grim results of Archaon's victories apparent, reality itself crumbling under the relentless misery inflicted by the Everchosen's armies. In other places, like the Eyeless Vale, where decapitated corpses hang by their feet from weeping blood trees, with a splinter-shard river that still flows thick with bone fragments, none have walked since Archaon's wrath descended upon them. A reminder that what the Everchosen does not conquer, he destroys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider liking it and subscribing to the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.